back. This is part three. So if you haven't already watched part one, yeah, do that. Okay, so we made it into our base housing, um, more so into our little community, and so shortly thereafter, I had to start school. And I remember the first day of school because it was the first day back for everybody from holiday, and my teacher and a group of her friends had just come back from Kenya, and she had like this whole presentation um, with food, and I think she brought back everybody keychains and stuff like that, like um, from Kenya, and she showed us her videos and her pictures, and it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Um, but on the way home is where things started to change for me. Um, I got on the bus. Um, I didn't have any issues on the way to school, but I got on the bus and I took my seat. I didn't know anybody really. Like, I knew a few kids from the neighborhood because, I'd been there like 2 days. So I'd met a few kids, but I didn't know about riding a bus. I'd never had to do that before. Um, and I didn't really realize that there was a culture and a status, um, like, what do you call that? Like a status to the seating, I guess. So I sat down, and this girl comes up to me. I know she was older than me. She was like in middle school already. She was like 12 years old, 13 years old. Real tall girl, really dark, really long, straight hair, really pretty girl. Um, Came up to me and she's like, "You are in my seat." And I looked at her, and I am a little bit of a smartass. I'm an Air Force brat. That's what we all do. And my response was, "I didn't see your name on it." The next thing I remember, I black out. And the next thing I remember is waking up, seeing her fist coming at my face, and not being able to move. And then I black out again. I wake up, still can't move, and someone else's fist is coming at my face. And then I black out. I wake up, and I'm at my bus stop. It's time for me to go home. And um, I get off the bus, and I realize that my lip is swollen, it's bleeding, my nose is bleeding, my eye is, starting to swell. I'm not in good shape. And so, of course, I walk home, and I get inside. My mom's like, "So, how was your first day?" What happened? And, I told her what had happened. She calls the school, and then the next day, I get called to the principal's office, and well, I get called to his office, and then I get shown into the conference room. Um, so I'm like sitting there, when I walk in to sit down, I see all the kids who were there, and the girl, I call her kind of the ringleader, the gang leader. She was kind of the one who did all the talking. Um, Her name was Jennifer. I don't remember her last name. Um, I remember she had a sister my age, um, who was in my class. Um, but, you know, I said what happened. They all told their side of the story, which surprisingly enough was pretty much along the lines of what I said. I mean, they were pretty honest. Like, yeah, we beat the crap out of her. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, okay, so when the principal asked why, um, Jennifer, of course, spoke up and said, well, her dad's in the Air Force. He's weak. We have to toughen her up. Yes, they were Army kids. Um, and it made no sense to me, and it made no sense to him. It has never made sense to anyone. that I've ever spoken to. But I guess in her eyes, it made perfect sense that because my dad was Air Force, that he was weak, and therefore I would be weak, and she was trying to toughen me up. Um, she said it would never happen again, that, everything was going to be all right, and the principal left the conference room and left me in here. There was like 5 kids, and um, just left me. And I don't think I've ever been so scared in my life. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, here I am. I ratted these kids out. They've already beaten me once. What's going to happen next? And she told me, she's like, you know what? We can be friends now. Like, you're cool. We can be friends. And, I had no friends at this time. I didn't know anybody. And, I was like, well, I guess I passed the test. Like the gangs who, like, have the beat ins, blood in, blood out. Like, I did the blood in, so I'm cool. So, I can hang out with her. Little did I know that was not going to happen. Um, and um, I also found out her mom was the bus monitor on the bus and didn't stop it. Um, and she continued to be the bus monitor on the bus. Um, the bus driver didn't do anything. I felt kind of helpless. Um, excuse me. I felt helpless, and I didn't think anyone was going to be able to help me. And, that was kind of my introduction to Germany, to my new life. And, it was scary. And a few days passed with nothing. After that, I went a few days with no incidents, and I thought everything was going to be cool. I was like, okay, if they're cool, we're cool. It's all right. But it wasn't. Um, and um, they continued to bully me, just ruthlessly. It was ruthless. Um, there was a point where afterwards, for a lot of it, it was just verbal threats. Um, they grabbed my lunchbox, and it was just this little plastic lunchbox, and they'd smash it into pieces, and then they're like, next time that's gonna be your head. Um, they're like, you know, if I'm ever behind you, on the ship, which the back playground had a pirate ship, and they're like, if I'm ever behind you, you better watch out because you're going down. You're gonna walk the plank, like, So there was a lot of verbal stuff, and it was terrifying. I didn't want to leave. I did not want to leave my house. I did not want to walk to the bus stop in the morning. Um, I knew nothing about the culture out there. They would tell me that they were going to get the skinheads to shoot me. They were going to organize a drive-by and have me shot, you know. And it was terrifying. I was terrified. Um, so, at 10 years old, being beat up on the first day of school is not, it makes a lasting impression, especially now looking back to the point where I blacked out. And I don't think I passed out. I think I've just pushed it out, like I don't remember because it's too painful to remember. Yeah. But trust me, it gets better. Yeah, and I mean that in a sarcastic way.